if while you're making that transition, you let up on the brake and immediately come back into it, then it's kind of like simulating the same thing you do on a U-turn.
The bike just follows that, exactly.
When you
as I let off, it pulls up to straight, and as I get back into it, it leans in further.
Yeah, so it's just a momentary thing is what I'm doing on the brake.
Well, and the neat thing about using the brake is it's not as instantaneous as if you're using the clutch. You pull that clutch in a little bit, it's dropping down right now.
Plus you don't have any pulling power to keep you upright.
Well, you got to come back out, and it takes time to find that spot again, whereas it takes no time to make an adjustment on the brake.
Okay, so
that's working better for me, I got to say.
Okay, so for the video, tell me what you're doing on the brakes so that we can pass it on.
Basically, if I need a lot more power, then I'll let out the clutch just a little bit. But for most of the exercise, the clutch and friction point are constant, and I'm modulating with the brake.
And you find that easier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do, because I have a finer veneer on that brake than I do on the clutch, even.
Okay.
So, and I know James is against that because.
Well, because he hasn't practiced it, maybe, or maybe his reactions are different, or his bike is different. It's what works best for you.
Yeah. Well. And again, it's a much heavier bike, so I don't know. I don't know why it'd be a huge difference one way or the other, I guess. But
it just is. So, let's see. I'll follow you.
Okay, we're doing a figure eight.
Sure.
Is I'd like a little bit lower gear ratio in first gear to play this.
Oh, you would like a lower?
Yeah, because it pulls into that really thumpy range at those speeds. So,
I'm noticing your front tire bouncing up and down more than I think is normal.
I'm not touching the front brake. That's coming from the engine, or maybe when I'm going to brake.
No, it's too fast a cycle for the brake.
Huh?
It's like this.
Well, yeah, that'd be pulsing about what the engine's kicking at.
Okay.
Once you get down below or in that idle range, I'm trying to produce power and yet be below idle.
Okay, is there a way, and I don't even know if this works, is there a way to get a little bit above that speed?
Well, there is higher engine RPM, and then that clutch point is critical because just a tiny little bit of movement's a huge.
Are you in that point in the clutch to where you can change the engine RPM and not change the speed?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's just what it... Okay. Okay, good. So amazingly, I'm able to see each pulse of the engine in your front tire.
I believe, yeah. Well, I think that's characteristic of twins at the lower RPMs. I mean, they hit hard, you know.
I would never think that.
Well, they hit really hard, and yet the engine RPMs are low. You've got throttle on it, so therefore each pulse is going to be pretty substantial.
That's interesting. I never would have thought you could see that.
I've seen some pretty crazy shit going down the highway. I get out to the side and just watch that front end go from going down the highway, and it's like, holy shit, I'm glad that's not me.
Yeah.
Taking that. But
okay, well, let's do some more, and I'll follow you on it.
Actually, I'd rather follow you from a learning point.
Okay. Well, I'm going to set this down so we can see the speed then.
Okay. gas than what I've typically had, but I keep getting those, it'll miss one pulse. Oh, geez!
Yeah, nothing's going on, it's just I'm a little faster than you are. Okay. It's kind of like when Dan and I were in that figure 8 that didn't work out so good. That's why when we started getting on the opposite side of the figure 8, I aborted it. And I'm going to go do one myself just to get a speed here, and hopefully I can catch my hand in the reflection so that I can see it.